good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I hope everyone had a great break and came back fully recharged after that. I know I was. So for tonight's speech, I'd like to just start off and have you guys just take a look at this photograph here. I'd like you just to imagine yourself there, taking in the view, breathing the fresh air and hearing the birds chirp, and just stand in awe at that cascading waterfall or the looming granite cliffs in the valley, or the snow-covered peaks in the background. Just take it in and breathe it in, and just, like I said, imagine yourself there. And now I'd like to kind of take you through the valley. So imagine yourself there driving along, winding through the park road, just taking this all in. And now you're not by yourself, you're with someone else. You're sharing this experience with a friend or a loved one, or just your entire family, a van packed full of little kids or something. And then kind of realize what it might have taken to get to that point, to get where you are. All the stops along the road, all the potty breaks and the gas stations you've seen, and all the truckers you passed, or the games you've played. And kind of just realize that this is your reward. This is the goal at the end of that long trip. So as you're thinking about that, that is the topic for my speech tonight, is the road trip and kind of what it took to get to this point. So when it comes to road trips, for me at least, there's a couple of main purposes that we go on road trips, and I'll go into that in detail, as well as some benefits of the road trip. So without further ado, I would like to go into the purpose of the road trip. So the first main one is usually a point of destination. So for instance, on the last slide, I just went to Yosemite for spring break, and that I had an end goal, I had a point of destination to get to. And that view that you saw was my reward. So the majority of road trips, I feel, we have that X marks the spot, the culminating point, the peak of that, the climax of our trip is that point of destination. Now, for another purpose, there is also the road trip as the destination. So there is no end goal. The road trip itself is the experience. It's not just, oh, we have a point to go to. I don't know if any of you have ever done that before, just jumped in a car with your friends and just took off. But, we're just going to stop wherever we feel like, and that is the goal. We're just going to, it's more of an experience than it is the end product. And a lot of times, sometimes you can have combinations of the two. All right, we're going to this point, and we're going to stop along the way at these certain points. So it can be a combination of the first two. And the last one I feel like is the escape trip. It's not to go somewhere; it's to leave from. So you're trying to get away from school or from work to kind of clear your head, or just to get away and leave behind all the burdens that we face in life, just to kind of refresh and get perspective. And that leads me into some of the benefits of the road trip. So these are the reasons why and some of the benefits we experience of road trips. And this first one is to get refreshed. So that's me standing underneath Bridal Veil Falls, and that's that first waterfall that you saw in Yosemite. And let me tell you, it definitely was refreshing to get that mist from the river, or from the waterfall there. It was very, very nice. A little bit chilling, but refreshing nonetheless. And to breathe some fresh mountain air was great as well. And then another example is to get perspective. So get refreshed and get perspective. To remove yourself from the situation and kind of just experience the grand awe that nature has. The road trip doesn't have to be nature necessarily, but I feel that I gain the most perspective from going and being immersed in nature, especially for this particular instance. So these are the giant sequoias. And you can't really see it right now, but at the base of the tree, you'll see me in this next.
Oh my goodness.
So that's me standing right there. You can kind of see the little white spot is my head standing at the base of the tree. So this is definitely a visual representation of getting perspective. I definitely felt humbled and small standing next to these giants. And just the whole valley was like that in general. So 2 more examples of benefits from road trips is the first one, to experience something new or someplace new. So this particular example was the thing. So it was someplace new, just something to experience. It was more for the experience. Now I'm not going to tell you what the thing was. If you want to find out, you'll have to go there. This is off of I-10, somewhere in the New Mexico desert. So if you ever feel the urge to go on a road trip, maybe that can be one of your places that you stop. So, but just imagine yourself there with your friends, experience that, stopping to explore, to have that sense of adventure and just to gain that new insight. And then the third benefit of road trips is to build relationships. So, of course, you can do these on your own. You can go on a road trip on your own if you're that kind of person, and sometimes I do need that. I'm the introvert, and I just need to be alone and get away from people. And sometimes I go on my own, but I feel like I gain more from experiencing it with others, whether that's your friends or your family. To build those relationships, like you may not do anything, but just to say, hey, like these are a couple of my friends. Like we went and saw the thing in New Mexico just for no reason at all. But we have that experience that we shared together. So as you all can see, I'm just going to wrap up this. Road trips have a lot of purposes and a lot of benefits in our lives. We may not always comprehend what they are or think about that when we're going through it. Like if it's a burden to get somewhere, like, oh, I have to go to Thanksgiving and I have to go home, I don't want to. But you can turn it into something that is worthwhile and to realize those benefits, and you're not just burning gas. It can be an experience, and it can have all those lasting effects. So I'd like to thank you for your time, and I hope all of you go and do your own road trip. So.